Alfonso's here, the godfather of the game. Many years of wisdom, remember his name. Speakers on stage, they'll drop the keys. Unlock your power and seize the breeze.
He's known as the Godfather. We call him the Energizer Bunny, and because he does not seem to ever run out of steam. And without any further delays, the Godfather of real estate, Alfonso Quadra, ladies and gentlemen. There's the mound.
Clap, clap, clap. Everyone stand up, stand up, stand up. Clicker, clicker, clicker. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on. Clap, 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 clap. Come on, come on, come on. Make some noise. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, turn it up. Let's go. Louder. You guys want some free stuff? Who wants free stuff? Make some noise, make some noise. Let's get the team up here. Let's get the team up here. Let's get the team up here. Come on, clap, 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 clap. Who wants free stuff? Make some noise. We got free stuff. Make some noise for the team. Woo! Who's ever making the most noise is gonna get free stuff. What do you got here? Sunglasses. Woo! Who wants free? Guys, you gotta make noise. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Make some noise. Let's go. Clap, 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 clap. What else? What else? Oh, shoot. Who wants this? Who wants this? Make some noise. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Good? Are we good? Are we good? Give these guys a big round of applause. Woo! Yes. Yes. Woo! All right. Got it. All right. Are you having fun? Edmonton, are you alive? Look at the person next to you. Give him a big high five. Tell him, wake up. Wake up. Another big round of applause for all the presenters this weekend. Big round of applause. I'm excited to be here because I'm going to show you how to own the block. Make some noise. Make some noise. If you want to learn how to own the block, say, I want to own the block. My last name is Quadra. Who knows what Quadra means in Spanish? What does it mean? Huh? It's a city block. And now we own city blocks. I came to this country as a refugee. My mom had $30 in her purse. I grew up in social housing. We were on welfare. And now we own apartment buildings all across Canada and the US. If I can do it, anybody in this room can do it. This is my wife here, Helene. Everyone say hi, Helene. Hi, Helene. She's not here, but we're in front of our 13th project. So we've successfully built 13 apartment buildings. So not only am I going to teach you how to buy existing apartment buildings, but I'm going to also show you how to build apartment buildings in the next 55 minutes. Are you guys okay with that? Make some noise, make some noise. Now, I love Alberta. I love Alberta. I love Edmonton. My daughter was born right here in Edmonton. My wife is from Saskatoon. Anybody from Saskatchewan here? Make some noise. Saskatchewan, make some noise. All right, all right, all right. But look how much I love Alberta. Look at the Wealth Genius hat there. You guys love this? Now I get why there's not 2,000 people in this room. We did an event, a virtual event. It was called Building a Cash Flowing Property. So cash flowing to riches. There was about 300 people that showed up. And so we're like, well, what's going on? Where is people's attention going? And so then we did this event, Crisis to Cash Flow. We had over 3,500 people registered for this event. And we can see where people's attention is going, right? People are distracted. The news has a narrative. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you believe that currently we are living through a recession? Raise your hand if you feel like we're living through a recession right now. Okay. Now, the data from Canada, they still haven't admitted it yet, but other people are distracted, and that's good. Everyone say, that's good. Everyone say, that's good. Everyone say, that's real good. When other people are distracted, when news has a narrative, when everybody's sucked into the baby oils and the Epsteins and the Trumps and the this and that, why is that good? Yes, more for us. Everyone say, more for us. Everyone's distracted. And while everybody is distracted, what they don't know is that currently we're living through the greatest wealth transfer in human history. How many people know about this wealth transfer that's happening right now? So if you're taking notes, I want you to take these notes. These next 3 months are so important. And if you heard Patrick up here, if you've heard Calvin that was up here, these next 3 months are so important. This is not the time to take your foot off the gas pedal. This is not the time to take your foot off the gas pedal. And I understand it. It can be confusing. There's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know what's going on. Are taxes on or off? We don't know. Are taxes on or off? We just don't know. Are tariffs on or off? I love this, by the way. I really love this. If you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. We are currently living through the best of times. We're currently living through the best of times. But if you're not paying attention, you could miss a massive opportunity. And that's what this next 55 minutes are about. A little bit about me. They call me the godfather of real estate only because I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been in business for 30 years. I should be the grandfather of real estate, but that was for Patrick. We've given that to Patrick. And so, 30 years in business. I started business in 1995. How many people were not alive in 1995? Raise your hand. Goddamn. All right, so I started my business in 1995 in the middle of a recession. People said, you can't start a business, there's a recession. And I always tell people, thank God I didn't know the meaning of the word. It might have stopped me. And so in the 30 years that I've been in business, I've had the opportunity of starting, selling, managing over 11 multi-million-dollar companies across Canada and the US. Now going on 27 years, I've been a full-time investor with my wife. We've built up a portfolio, roughly about $200 million, over 1,000 doors. And our goal now is to get to 7,500 doors in $1 billion portfolio. So, hey, yeah, why not? You can clap for that. I share that with you because I want to remind you what I told you when we started. I came here as a landing refugee. The 2 suitcases we had, my mom and I, she's a single mother, and $30. We grew up in social housing. And so if I can do it, anybody here can do it. I'm 48 now. At 30 years old, I was financially free. I did not have to work another day in my life. And I made a decision back then that I was going to help as many people as possible achieve financial freedom, because life is about fulfillment. I am not here for financial gain. I am here from a position of service. I don't have to be here. I just came back from Portugal. I was in the Azores. How many people know where the Azores is? Azores? Gorgeous place. I was there for 3 weeks, but I couldn't wait to get here. I was texting Calvin. I'm like, hey, you need any help, any support? Because I know how important these next 3 months are going to be. And so I want to make sure I can prepare you and have you ready. And so in the 18 plus years that I've been doing this as a speaker, mentor, coach, trainer, I've had the opportunity of training thousands and thousands of students all across North America. I've created thousands of millionaires all across North America. And the reason I share that with you is because I'm proud of all the time we've created in people's lives. Not the money, not the units, not the doors, but the time freedom that we've created in people's lives. I got a text from one of my students. He says, Alfonso, because what I've learned from you, I get to spend the mornings with my son every single day. That's what this is about. You are not here to create another job for yourself. You're here to create time freedom. So, stay connected. This is my Instagram handle. I want you to stay connected. And the reason I share this handle with people is because usually when people hear me speak, what will happen is they'll go and find me online. And there's a lot of fake accounts. So this is my Instagram account. Follow me. Send me a DM. It says, Alfonso, we met at REIcon, and I will follow you back. I will follow everybody in this room back. Let's stay connected. If you need help in any way, you reach out. Send me a DM, says, Alfonso, we met here, REIcon, and I will message you back. There's a lot of people in this room, so it's going to take me a while. So please give me till Sunday at least, or Monday. But I will connect with you, okay? So follow me, stay connected. If you need my help, I'm here to support. Now, let's get back to the wealth transfer. How many people knew that there's a wealth transfer happening right now? Who knows how much it is? How many? $124 trillion in assets will change hands in the coming years. $124 trillion in assets will change hands in the coming years. This will be the greatest wealth transfer in human history, and people are distracted. They don't even know about this. They're not even talking about this. Every morning I wake up and there's portfolios on sale. And these next 3 months are going to be crucial to that. Primarily because baby boomers are exiting real estate. They're exiting portfolios. They're exiting businesses. And unfortunately, some of them are going to be exiting life. I mean, that's the cycle of life. That's how it works. And so you have to be ready. The question is, on what side of this wealth transfer are you going to be on? On what side of the wealth transfer will you be on? Now, I shared with you guys that I've been through several economic downturns. You know, I started in 1995, so 30 years ago, during a recession. Then I got into real estate close to 2000 when they had the tech bubble bursting. People said, oh my God, you can't get into real estate. The tech bubble's gonna burst. I was like, where is it? You know? And so because I've started during economic uncertainty, I've been able to take leaps and bounds of my business. I found out that was the key. 2008, 2009, the economic global meltdown, I got to level up again. While everybody was scared and you had a massive correction, we took massive action and we took leaps and bounds. And then, fast forward to March of 2020. You guys remember that? Oh my God. Where's the toilet paper? You guys remember March of 2020? everybody and their grandmother needed toilet paper? Now, if there was a real crisis and we're all going to die, that's what you go for, toilet paper? What the hell is wrong with people, right? But everybody was panicking. They didn't know what was going on. People felt like they had no control, panic. They were scared. Media took over with a narrative. Everybody froze. If you guys remember, everybody like froze. Remember, we're going to flatten the curve? Remember, everybody went and just watched Netflix? Remember that? There was a lot of uncertainty. And guess what? There was a lot of uncertainty for me, too. I didn't know what was going on. I've never lived through a pandemic. I lived through other economic downturns. But I knew this was go time. I knew that because we have all of this economic uncertainty, real estate was on sale. And so my wife and I, we took massive action. Because again, they're just market cycles. It's not like you have a crystal ball. But from April 1st of 2020 to the end of September, even into October, my wife and I bought over $60 million of real estate in that short little window. You know why that deserves a clap? Because all that real estate doubled in price, in some cases even tripled in price. It's not like I had a crystal ball. I just recognized the signs. And that's exactly where we are right now. That's why I'm here. Back in 2020, we didn't have REIcon. We didn't have stages. You couldn't even leave your house. You couldn't even look at people. Remember, people didn't even want to look at you in your eyes. Everyone's like, oh, you might be contagious, you know. Remember the masks? Everybody's wearing masks. And so I jumped on YouTube. I'm not a YouTube guy. I jumped on YouTube. My kids still tell me, Dad, you're doing YouTube wrong. I'm okay with it. How many people are subscribed to my YouTube channel? Raise your hand. If you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, okay, for the people around you, tell them what's wrong with you. Come on. 1,500 videos. Thank you, my friend. 1,500 videos. And back then, April of 2020, I jumped online. I'm like, guys, please take action. I'm begging people to take action, right? And I've never been on YouTube, but I was sharing with people what I was doing during COVID. And people, you know that little comment section in YouTube? Apparently anybody can use that. Apparently anybody can use that. You know, I'm showing people how I made $1 million flipping a 10-unit apartment building, and the comment at the bottom was like, yeah, but you're not even wearing a mask. Really? That's what you're focused on? Distractions. Distractions are good. Everyone say, distractions are good. They're real good. Real good. And I'm not afraid to hear people's opinion, but some people, they get to, that comment section, anybody can, look at this. Nasty people, look at this. Dude, you should get a real job like the rest of us. This is during COVID. I'm trying to help people, but people some people don't get it because they're distracted by a narrative. This is Warren Buffett. He said, when people are greedy, you should be fearful. And when people are fearful, you should be greedy. And that's what's happening right now. There's uncertainty, and this is the time to take action. 2025 has been a special year. People feel like they don't have control. Panic. They're scared. Similar to 2020. Media takes over. They have a narrative. By the way, we feel that media is in the information business. They are not. They're in the advertising business. And they're getting paid by your eyeballs. And so what happens with this uncertainty, people freeze. And that's what's happening in the market right now. And that's the opportunity. So if you're taking notes, these next 3 months are crucial to real estate. But different times require different strategies. Different times require different strategies. What got you here may not take you to the next level, may not take you to where you want to go. And so this is why I love multifamily. I've been buying multifamily for now going on 26 plus years. And I've tried other things, but nothing lets me down like multifamily. I've never been let down by multifamily. Look at this. During economic uncertainty, multifamily has always outperformed every other asset class. And so for 2021, 2022, 2023, were people greedy? Were people overpaying for real estate? Everyone say yes? Absolutely. And so for us in the industry, even though we can make money during any cycle, but we were waiting for 2025. And so these next months are important. The Bank of Canada has already shared with you, and the sentiment is there's not going to be any rate cuts for the next 3 months. Nobody has a crystal ball, but we can say that they're going to hold it steady until the data comes in. By the way, how many people believe we're in a recession right now? They haven't admitted it yet. But once that happens, what will happen to interest rates? So let's say we're going into 2026. And so right now, there's an influx of inventory on the market. Why do you think that is? As a result of tariffs, the capital gains increase has been delayed. You guys knew that they were going to increase the capital gains to 66.6%? Raise your hand if you knew that. And they delayed it into 2026. They delayed it into 2026, which means that if you're selling your property, you're going to want to sell it now. And so now, and by the way, I did a quick snapshot of just commercial listings on Realtor, and you could already see that we have double the listings since this time last year. And so increase of inventory and rate cuts. When you have a rate cut and no inventory, what's going to happen to real estate? You guys say it. Will prices go up or down? Everyone say up. Okay. And so that's the opportunity in this next 3 months. That's why these next 3 months are so crucial. And the key to success is in positioning yourself in front of a wave. And that wave is coming. And my job is to prepare you for that. So I want you to write this down. We have a 3-day intensive boot camp coming up right here in Edmonton to get you ready for this wave. It's a real estate investor accelerator, and it's October 3, 4, and 5. If you have to work one of these days, take it off. Block it. Tell them you got COVID. If you can't make it, how many people, have an issue with the date? Okay, we got you. So we got a few other events. Calgary, September 26th to 28th, and we have a virtual event, October 7th to 9th, and then we're going to go to Red Deer in October. Yeah, make some noise for Red Deer. Really? Come on, make some noise for Red Deer. All right. Let me see. How many people here from Calgary? Make some noise. Edmonton, make some noise. Red Deer, make some noise. You see, that's how you start wars. So we're going to go through everything. We're going to go deep on multifamily, land development, and you're going to take all those strategies and you can invest all across Canada and even in the U.S. And we're going to show you how to raise capital the right way, ethically, responsibly. Everybody knows about OPM, right? OPM? Who's heard of OPM? What's OPM? Yeah. But if you get a little bit of information and you go out and try to, leverage other people's money and you do it wrong, you can end up LOPM. What's that? Losing other people's money. So, look, my philosophy is simple. With great power comes Great responsibility. So it's your responsibility to get educated and know that you're doing this business the right way. This is Mike, 21 years old. He came to that boot camp. Shortly after, he bought his first 4-unit multifamily, cash flowing multifamily, 21 years old. Have we changed the trajectory of Mike's life? Yes. Absolutely. His second deal, a 10-unit apartment building. He's 21. And so this business is doable as long as you know how to do it the right way. And this is the right time. You know, they talk about the right place at the right time. This is the right time. The key to success is positioning yourself in front of a wave. That wave is coming. And so your biggest expense isn't your taxes or your mortgage. It's really lost opportunities. And so different times require different strategies. There's that little story about that frog, and if you put the frog in you know the story, if you have a pot of boiling water and you put the frog in the boiling water, the frog immediately jumps out. They're like, oh, this is too hot for me. But if you put the frog in like room temperature water and you slowly increase the heat, what happens to that frog? It boils to death, right? And so that's what happens. Different times require different strategies. But what happens to a lot of people, when it doesn't hurt bad enough, they don't switch the strategy. They don't change the strategy. You start to see vacancies will start to creep up. Well, it doesn't hurt that bad, so they're not going to take action. I love what Patrick was saying is that, you know what, during times of uncertainty, you figure out who the real estate investors really are. Because during the height of a market, everybody's a genius. And I've been through so many ups and downs, so I know that, you know, there's a false sense of confidence that people were having. But slowly, interest rates have gone up. And slowly, people are boiling to death. And so you have to change the strategy. What worked before may not be working moving forward. And so for me, one of the biggest differences is, you know, the understanding of tapping into a larger portfolio, tapping into larger scale properties. It just makes more sense to me. But there was a time you can buy a single family home and it was going to cash flow. There was a time. But we're also fighting something else, which is inflation. So houses have gone through the roof, and the cash flow is minimal. And so, you know, people look at the cash flow and they're like, God damn, how many of these houses am I going to have to own to make this work? And so the transition into maybe larger assets, maybe doing things the right way, specific strategies that we're going to show you, may change your future. And so the issue with the house is that you got all of these leaks. You got taxes, gas, electric bill, mortgage, insurance. Is insurance going up or down? Bastards. Repairs and maintenance, lawn and snow, vacancies. And the issue with this model is that you only have one income. And when you start investing in real estate, you're actually in business. And so by following this model, you actually are violating all the rules of business. What's better to have, more customers or less customers? How many people want more customers? How many people want less customers? The problem with this model is that it's limited. And there was a point in time where this worked, right? I remember when houses were like $100K, and you can still get, you know, $8, $9, even $1,000 of rent. We could follow the 1% rule. And there is still times where it will work. But this model of only having one income can be challenging. And so what we're going to teach you is something a little different. Leveling up. How many people would love to learn how to level up? Raise your hand. So what happens with more tenants You simply have more income coming in to service more of the debt, more of the expenses. Everything's under one roof. Things make sense. You no longer are limited in your mortgage capacity for a single family house. For you to qualify for a single family house, we all know what it is. You gotta meet the debt to income ratio. That's very limited. For a multifamily, it's all about the debt coverage ratio. So the asset has to qualify first. The asset qualifies, not you. Of course, they take you into consideration. But when I started this business when I was 20, I didn't have any money. I didn't have a way of qualifying for those smaller properties. Someone said, well, why don't you just go into commercial properties? Why don't you just go into multifamily? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, well, the asset can qualify. You don't have to qualify. I was like, what? I want to do that. And so you lower the risk because now you're spreading the risk amongst multiple units. If someone moves out of your single family home or your duplex, either you're 50% vacant or 100% vacant. For a small landlord, that means that they have to dip into their own personal capital to make sure that they service the debt. If someone moves out of one of my 60-unit apartment buildings, it's a non-event. If 5 people move out of my 60-unit apartment building, it's a non-event. Now, we have systems in place, and that's what the education is about. But one of the things that I love is that multifamily is stable. It's a stable asset. As long as you buy it right, as long as you understand capital expenditures, all the things that we're going to teach you to do when you come to our boot camp. We also love the profit centers in real estate. Cash flow and mortgage pay down, so you have equity buildup. There's things that most people don't see. They see the cash flow, but they don't see the mortgage pay down, the natural appreciation, and the forced appreciation. One thing I love about multifamily is the forced appreciation.
My name is Alfonso Cuadra. They call me the godfather of real estate. I've been in business for over 30 years, in real estate over 26 years. I built a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And now I'm going across North America, talking to people and signing checks. I'm looking for deals because I'm building a billion-dollar portfolio. Is that you? Let me make an offer you can't refuse.
We just don't have enough information to make this decision. There's too many unknowns. And for that reason, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Sure, you can increase the income. What was Calvin saying about the rents here in Edmonton? What was he saying about the rents? What's that? No. What was he saying about the rents? And you could see some potential vacancies, right? And so the beauty about multifamily, yes, if you increase the income, it impacts the value of the asset. You create forced appreciation. But when you reduce the expenses, so if you run an efficient operation, a $25 discount or expense reduction will, on a 65-unit apartment building, will give you a $500,000 forced appreciation. That's wild. Everyone say that's wild. $500K? $500,000? We love that. And so, look, for us, that's the road to freedom. And that's what we're teaching our kids. These are my girls. One of the, Talia, she's 30. The other one is 19. I bring my girls by all of our properties because what I love about multifamily is that we're also building generational wealth. We're transferring these assets to the next generation, and we're transferring the mindset as well. I shared with you guys that I came as a refugee. There's been a cycle of poverty in my life. I'm the first one in my family to ever own a piece of property. I'm the first one in my entire family to own a vehicle. I taught my mom how to drive at 52 years old. And I always say this to my daughter, the cycle of poverty stops here with me. And so we want to transfer that mindset to the next generation. And so I share that with my girls all the time. I say, look, girls, these assets are not for sale. These assets are not even for you. They're for the next generation. They're for your grandkids, your great-great-grandkids. If you even think about selling these properties or liquidating when I'm no longer here, I will roll over in my grave and I will come and haunt you for days. Yes. Thank you. You got to scare the kids sometimes, you know? And so I also want them to pursue the things that they want to do, but not to be sucked into what society's trying to tell you to do. I believe in freedom, in all of the freedoms. I'm here from a position of service because I have time. I'm not doing this to try to help you get the next Ferrari or the next super yacht, which those things are nice, but I'm here to help you achieve financial freedom so you have the time to do the things that you want to do. Just recently, we had the opportunity of going to Sierra Leone. And we're building a school in Sierra Leone, and I was able to do that because I have ultimate freedom. I'm passionate about all our initiatives. We teach financial literacy to young people globally, and we got to do it in Sierra Leone with my partner here is Tara. You know, she's from Freedom Tree, and we're building a school together. All possible because of the business that we've built. So what is your goal? What is it that you're trying to achieve? What are you trying to build? Why do you want to be in real estate in the first place? And whatever that goal is, I'm going to encourage you to double the goal or even triple it, expand, get uncomfortable. So we have a very successful conference. It's called the Expand Investor Conference. Make some noise if you've been there. All right. So it's all about expansion. That's my whole philosophy. Expanding mindset, expanding your capacity. What has stopped you in the past is this idea that, you know what, it's going to be uncomfortable trying to go to the next level. So your duty is to expand. You're either expanding or contracting, but you're not doing both. You're either growing or dying, like a plant. And so the problem is that we all are anchored to everything in life. We're anchored to results. We're anchored to numbers. And so when we start looking at those larger assets like multifamily, it seems overwhelming. But I want you to write this down. You can always reset your anchoring. Let's try this, all right? Everybody repeat after me. 1 million. Real loud. 2 million. 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 40 million, 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, 500 million. Should I do it? Should I say the B word? 1 billion. Let's go back to the beginning. 1 million. Cheap. $1 million is nothing. Look at your neighbor, tell him $1 million is nothing. You see, instantly you can reset your anchoring. All it is an extra zero. That's all it is. We tend to go after the things that are most comfortable. We want to be comfortable, but to be comfortable is like the kiss of death. Everything you want is outside of that comfort zone. So set big goals for yourself, but you have to take massive action. Massive goals require massive action. This is how you get the results. You have to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do today to live the kind of life that other people wish they had tomorrow. And tomorrow people will say, you're lucky. They will say that. That's okay. And so now that we expanded the mind, and in those 3 days, we're going to teach you exactly how to do this business, how to scale this business, how to buy existing apartment buildings like this, maybe properties that are built in the 70s and 80s, how to reposition that asset and pull out a couple of $1 million from those assets. And I've become really good at the value add. But there's key questions that you need to ask every single time. What are those key questions? Well, you got to understand your economic drivers in any particular market. You need to understand why you're even doing that deal in the first place. Do you have management and resources? Have you looked into the capital expenditures? Because some older properties, they're going to have significant capital expenditures, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get caught with your pants down, and we're going to have some problems. Do you have the right investors and capital? Do you have the right corporate structure in order to be able to, take on these investors? One of the things that, even 5 years ago when I was telling people, you know what, I prefer you have equity partners versus you doing promissory notes. That was a statement that wasn't popular 5 years ago. And then now, people tell me this all the time. They're like, Alfonso, how did you know? It's simple. Promissory notes is an easy way to raise capital, and it's a lazy way. Bringing on partners, building relationships, having proper structures, this really takes skill and knowledge. And so that's what those 3 days are going to be about. What strategy are you buying? Are you buying hold, or are you a value add? Do you have exit strategies? You need to have multiple exit strategies. And so we're going to teach you how to buy existing apartment buildings, brand new apartment buildings. I want you to write this down. I'm going to show you how to create a forward agreement and make a deal with a builder. And I love new build apartment buildings, and this is something that was relatively new to me up until 2020. But I fell in love with this strategy. New build apartment buildings. This is another one that we did, 60 units, $14.5 million. We raised $4 million in 48 hours. And the same system that I used to raise $4 million in 48 hours, I'm going to transfer it to you. That's what those 3 days are about. If you guys ever hear OPS? What's OPS? Other people's systems. Other people's systems. And there's something about new, right? So we're going to spend some time talking about how to build apartment buildings. I'm not talking about the side-by-side 8-plexes. I'm talking about how to build 30-unit buildings, 60-unit apartment buildings, using the MLI Select program, using CMHC standard, how to look at a lot and identify the highest and best use. These are all the strategies that maybe you should put in your tool belt moving forward. So I started by existing apartment buildings, value add. I've been doing that for almost 27 years. And then I transitioned into buying brand new apartment buildings. And then I transitioned into land development. I have my own construction company. And what I realized when I was buying those apartment buildings, there was a lot of meat on the bone. So when I was buying new build apartment buildings, we were going at the very top. But if you see, you can make money at every stage in land development. And so when you come for those 3 days, we're going to spend some significant time talking about how to find the deals, how to fund the deals, and how to make sure that you have all the securities in place so you don't have delays, and those delays can be costly, unexpected CMHC changes, all those things. So at the very bottom, we have the upzone strategy, just simply finding a property, upzoning it, and flipping the paper to another investor. Then you have the site plan approval, permitting, the build out, and then ultimately you could either sell it or keep it. And so that's what we've been doing. That's the picture that I shared with you guys with my, what I did with my wife. We've now done our 13th project, all above 24 units. And that, the beauty about the upzone is that it also can be served as your down payment. So that's our strategy. I shared with you in the next 5 years, we're going to build the portfolio to 7,500 doors. And 1,000 of those doors is going to be just brand new product. Just brand new product. And we're going to be using the MLI Select program. Even with the changes, things still pencil out, but you have to know what you're doing. We're going to talk about those when you come to those 3 days. So this is this 52 unit that I shared with you guys. I don't really have time to go through this case study, but I guess I'll give you the cliff notes. 1.5 million for the land. Total cost to build the project, full build out, land, permits, soft costs, everything all in is $10 million. We got a MLI Select loan, construction loan. So basically, we're using our upzone increase in value of the land as our down payment. And it's costing us 10 million. We're getting 10 million we got 10 million from CMHC. It costs us 10, we're getting 10. How much is it costing me to build a 52-unit apartment building? Everyone say, 0. Now, it's a little tricky on how you got to do this, but we're going to share with you how to do it when you come for those 3 days. This is Mullen. Mullen loved the strategy of building apartment buildings. He's 28 years old, and after he came to the boot camp, he started his project on a 59-unit apartment building using the MLI Select program, using the upzone value as his 5% down, no money out of his pocket, 28 years old. I had some kids come to the boot camp, and when I say kids, they could be my kids, that's what I mean. 18 and 19 years old. 18 and 19 years old. You want to know why I do this? What keeps me going? What got me here from Portugal? I got this text. Look at this, August 16th. Oliver and Gabriel, 18 and 19 years old. You've changed our life. Behind us is a 12-unit apartment building we just bought in Montreal yesterday. 18 and 19 years old. And so it's all about building systems. If you can tap into a system, if you can follow a system, come to the 3 days, we're going to show you. So our road to 7,500 doors and $1 billion portfolio is going to include these 4 Ps. Number 1, people. The gap between where you are right now and where you want to go in life is going to include people. So you have to have the right people. You have to have the right process, systems. Everything you do has to be profitable. I do not subscribe to the idea that all real estate is good, or people that just buy doors, accumulate doors for the sake of buying doors, and things aren't profitable. Things have to make sense. So we're going to show you how to underwrite. And then the product. You have to have an exceptional product. So during times of uncertainty, high vacancies, your properties are always going to be full. When I started investing in Saskatoon, the vacancy rate was 12%. Our properties were always full because we have the right system. And so what has kept you from leveling up? Belief. This is Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister ran the 4-minute mile. In 1954, no one ever ran a mile under 4 minutes. He crushed this record in 1954. Shortly after that, everybody started doing it. How's that possible? How's that possible? Mindset, right? Belief. When you know that someone else has done it, you would say, okay, yeah, I can do it too. And so I shared a little bit about my story. What I didn't share is that, yes, I came here as a refugee. You know, I lived in social housing, but I also dropped out of high school when I was 15 years old. And at 15 years old, I was living on the streets in Ottawa. And what changed everything for me, because I didn't believe in myself. I had no belief in myself. But this is me in my store, and I started my first business in 1995 because of this little girl. In 1995, I was 17 years old, and I became a dad. I saw some of your faces when I showed you my daughter. She was 30 years old. You're like, it didn't compute. Well, I was 17 years old. Do I look young? This one moment changed my entire life, and it changed the trajectory of my life. And this is why I do this. When I look at these faces, I want to conquer the universe. And so, what was the date of that boot camp? Do you remember? What was it? October 3rd and 5th. October 3rd and 5th. And so we're going to go through this philosophy, mindset, knowledge, and action. We're going to help you take action. This is Luis. He came to that boot camp. Government workers. Now they're full-time investors, and they've left their government jobs, and all they do is real estate. We're going to go through joint venture agreements. We're going to show you how to structure joint venture agreements, syndications, GPLPs. We're going to go through multifamily underwriting, land development. We're going to show you how to take these strategies and invest in the U.S. We're going to show you how to raise capital, syndications, and do it the right way. We're going to go through underwriting, buying new build apartment buildings. We're going to go through everything that you need in order to be set up for the next 3 months, which are crucial. You're not scaring anybody by saying that this is $1,900 is not, it's not breaking the bank for a 3-day intensive event with me. I will be there. I will be there. I'm going to be the one training this. We do have a early bird price, $487. Can you guys write down this code? Cuadra. What does cuadra mean again? What does cuadra mean? City block, yes. So we're going to show you how to own the block, but we've done this, $87. Is that good? That's it? $87. Less than dinner for two. Less than dinner for two, all 3 days. In fact, bring someone, bring a guest. 2 people for $87. What about that? You like that? Okay. So here's the QR code. We're also going to get the team to pass out these flyers. So if you need to take it with you. It is limited. We only are going to do this with an intimate group here in Edmonton. So there is a possibility that it will sell out right here in this room. But you're going to get a 3-day intensive training. You're going to get my 20-step walkthrough checklist. It's the same checklist that I've been using for 27 years. We're going to have real estate investors there with you on site. We're going to be doing a portfolio analysis based on you, and you're going to leave there with a strategy session, a 90-day action plan. A 90-day action plan. You're going to get a workbook, plus you can bring a guest. $1,987. Let's get another round of applause for $87 once again. 2 people. So when you use this QR code, it's going to take you right to a landing page where when you click whichever one you want to go to, whether the virtual Edmonton, Calgary, or Red Deer, it will already give you the $300 discount, okay? And if you're having issues with it, come and see us at the booth. This offer will expire in 48 hours. It's like Mission Impossible. How does it go? This message will self-destruct in 10 seconds. Well, this offer will expire in 48 hours. So what I suggest is you take action right away. Take action right away. Calgary, Edmonton, and if you can't make it, we have a virtual weekend, or it's on the 7th to the 9th. You don't even have to wear pants. Take a picture of this QR code, and we'll get you going. This is James. James loved the boot camp so much. He was an engineer. He was overworking. He had bought multiple properties. He loved the idea of leveling up. His first deal was a 33-unit apartment building that he bought for about $3.5 million. He repositioned it. It was just reappraised at $8.4 million. He's 28 years old. Yeah, you can clap for that. Changed the trajectory of his life. So the question that I have for you is, what is the vision for your life? What is the vision for your life? Look at the person next to you and look at them straight in the eyes and ask them, what is the vision for your life? Here's what I'm going to leave you with. The secret to life is in raising your standards. Demand more of yourself than anybody else, because you only have one life, and it's up to you to do what you want with it. I suggest play big. My good friends, I hope you got value. Thank you very much. And we're going to go to lunch. Let's go to Calvin. Thank you.
Join us for our 10th and biggest Expand Investor Conference. And this year, this November, we are doing it in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah! And it's gonna be a big one. And I want you to go and get your tickets right away. Our Expand Investor Conference, our 10th edition of our Expand Investor Conference is happening in Alberta. Get your tickets right away.